Alright, you're listening to Matt with the RedShirtArmy podcast, just doing another video log supplemental. This time, we're going to do a 4-part miniseries, or I am at least, detailing every ground PvP map. Now, one of the greatest features in Star Trek Online that no one else really has taken much advantage of is the demo feature, which, as you can see, allows us to record something as simple as, a 5-second demo of any ground PvP match or anything really in game, and then you can go back in and play that demo, but not only play it, but you can pause it, thus giving you a 360-degree view of that map since it's paused. Now, as you can see, the map for this supplemental will be the ground PvP map Deserted Facility. And we'll start out from the top and just take a look down at it. It's a very symmetrical map with two sides, red and blue. Red being from this point of view on the right, or left, and blue being on the right. And everything about this map leads around into one big circle, so neither side really has too much of a tactical advantage. Looking through the map, there's a lot of great little areas you can fight at and basically stage all kinds of ground combat through. And I've got the match paused, so there's a little bit of fighting going on in the main corridor here. The basic center of the map is a force field, which neither side can pass through or do attacks through, but you can easily see through, so that gives you a great opportunity to kind of see if anyone in the opposing team, or maybe even any ally, is on the other side of that map. And you also have the normal HUD in the upper right hand corner for the map when not in demo mode, so you can see people there as well. But from a ground perspective, it's all one big circular map with two main rooms. The first main room is this room, which I like to personally call the console room, because it's got all the fancy L cards, consoles, and systems, and everything else. And again, it's symmetrical. You've only got one way in and one way out. Either way, I mean, they're both the same function. So, but it's a very wide open map, and there's a lot of little places you can go to fight and stage combat. The platform in the middle is raised, so you can always run underneath and have a very large, wide open floor space for fighting. And there's a couple little tips and tricks for this room specifically. On the right hand side, the consoles are a little different than on the left hand side, and the fact that these consoles over here will allow you to jump up on the ledge up here, walk around, and then you can get up on the ledge up here, which is great if you're an engineer or something. Plop down a couple turrets, and anyone coming in that wants to take out the turrets to stop your local allies from getting buffs would have to actually come through the door or come around the side of the corner here to be able to target those. So that's a great little drop, and you can technically do it on the left hand side as well. You just might have to jump from the platform and run kind of like around the perimeter there. Now, the main platform does offer some cover space. Throwing down, say, a phaser turret right there or a mortar turret is great for range, because it can nail pretty much both coming in from either side. And you could throw down generators up here as well. And there's a nice little ledge on the back here where you could throw something down as well, or simply crouch and wait for people to come through. But going into the main hallways of the corridor is where a lot of the fighting on the map takes place. As you can see, it's all pretty leading into the same areas. And looking at the blue side, because each side is the same, there's two main ways once you come into that main corridor. You can go down, or you can go up. Now we'll go ahead and go down, and this leads us into the second main room, which is actually the biggest room of the map, which is just a large cargo bay type space. And there's all kinds of various nooks and crannies for you to jump around and hide behind. Now, this is a great map, I think, for combat, because just look at the possibilities. I mean, you've got all these boxes. If you've ever played with an engineer, this is a great place to kind of hide a turret, or basically just any defensible buff turret like a shield generator or medical device right there, because then people have to come in and basically jump on one of the boxes to get a line of sight to be able to attack it. So that's great. And you've got the raised platform, so you can kind of get a little bit of a jump on people coming in the doorway. You can see them before they can really see you hidden behind the grates here on the side. And you've got the main platform in the middle where you can get up on the boxes easily. And then a lot of PvPing up there, which is good, because if someone's focusing on melee, they have to climb all the way up there to get you, but obviously they're going to have some type of energy weapon on one of the secondary weapons. And again, both doors lead out to the same direction, so neither one has a slight disadvantage. Now, the second option you have is going up. Going up leads you into this very unique room that I think would be the perfect setting for ground combat on this map. It's basically 4 columns and 2 boxes. Each side of the room has a little side area here with the 4 columns in the middle and then another side area, so both sides have exactly the same thing. And from a defensible standpoint, that's great. You can have your healer kind of stand over here, or maybe an engineer, and stick your damage dealers up front, so anyone that advances on the position has to come around this corner to be able to highlight your defensible allies, again for line of sight, or come through the door if they're advancing this way to be able to target those players. And with all the boxes and columns, it makes a great area to really practice your maneuverability and dodging. I know a lot of people don't like the double tap for doing dives and rolls. I know it looks kind of goofy, and it doesn't really serve a purpose except to expend your dash meter, but it does come in handy, because a lot of people fail to remember line of sight is very important for most of the energy weapons in this game. If I'm standing right here and someone's attacking from the other side of this box, if I simply, double tapped my sidestep or my strafe, then I would do a sidestep roll instantly behind this column or behind that box there, and suddenly they don't have line of sight anymore. So that buys me some seconds, at least 3 seconds for shield regen kicks in. To give you time to let your shield regen, pop a med kit, or anything else. And sometimes a few seconds can be all the difference between surviving or, getting creamed by 5 guys coming around the corner. And on the other side, it's the same thing. You go all the way down, it runs all the way back around into the middle. And the map isn't too big or too small. 5v5, it's perfectly sized, I think, for teams that kind of stick together. If your team is really spread out, it's not going to be that great of a map, I don't think, because you're going to have guys wandering all over trying to get back together. And since, even though it's a symmetrical map, as I said, and it all connects back together in one big circle, it's a lot of space to take up if your team gets separated. So you're often going to have guys backtracking over the map trying to get to others. And definitely keep an eye on, in normal game, not in demo mode here, on your area map in the upper right hand corner or wherever you have that placed in your HUD setup. That will let you see, as always on any PvP map, indicators for not only friends but foes as well. So you can kind of see where they're at. And with the doors, since both of them, or all the doors really, lead in the same places, often 2 doors in the same room as we've seen in the previous rooms, you definitely want to keep an eye on which doors people are going in and out, because that'll let you know which side of the map they're on. And from a bird of eye perspective, you can see all the rooms are interconnected. It's all basically just one big honeycomb circular room, and there's only a few that go through to make any real difference. So you can see how the map is perfectly balanced for either side. No one side has a real difference or tactical advantage in terms of terrain. So Fed vs Fed, Klingon vs Klingon, Klingon vs Fed, it's all pretty much even. So that's the sort of facility, and hopefully we'll be going to the next ground PvP maps and giving you a bird's eye view and tactical look of each map, and what maybe or maybe not the strengths and weaknesses for either side may be on either one. So definitely check us back. You can listen to our podcast every week at RedShirtArmy.com. Follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/RedShirtArmy. If you have any questions about this video, or you want to see us do more videos for anything specific, just give us an email, RedShirtArmy@gmail.com. We'll definitely take a look at it and see about what we can do for that, alright? So we'll see you guys next time in the next Red Shirt Army supplemental video log. Later.